Hey guys, my name is Sam Johnson and I am taking part in Columbiapedia. I'm telling you everything about Columbia from A to Z. My role is to focus on the letter J. Jermaine O'Neal, I remember going to a Jermaine O'Neal basketball game back when I was a little kid, going to Eau Claire High School. I remember him doing like a two-hand just tomahawk jam dunk, and I was like infatuated. I was like, wow, this guy is huge. He is head and shoulders above both teams. That was an amazing experience, and for me, being here where we don't have a pro basketball team, I remember thinking, wow, I've never seen anything like this. JB White's, man, that was the store back in the day. So I remember being a little kid hearing like my grandmother, hearing folks of her, like her friends, that group, kind of my mom's girlfriends talk about going to JB White's to get a gown or that sort of thing. So, it takes me back a little bit. I remember that, that's back in the mall era. That's before Amazon and Walmart and all these places being online only and all that good stuff now. So that takes me back. Oh, that's the man, the myth, the legend. J. Anthony Brown, somebody with Columbia, South Carolina roots who is hilarious. I remember seeing him host events here in Columbia. Of course, he always gives Columbia, South Carolina a shout out when you hear him on the radio, nationally syndicated broadcasts. But no, just the man, the myth, the legend. Somebody who is been also very much at the forefront of a lot of social issues here in not only South Carolina but throughout the country. Hot. July in South Carolina. Oof. Just be prepared, find some shade, make sure your AC works, get your AC serviced in April. Be prepared. I also, on a serious tip, I always think about, for example, the police department and how they have the fans that they do fundraising for. They encourage folks to make sure that seniors are in environments where they don't have to worry about heat strokes and some of those types of things, because we do have such a hot climate here. So you got to be prepared. You got to make sure that you're taking care of your loved ones because it is hot. Stay hydrated during those June, July, August months here in South Carolina. Oh man, I said man, myth, the legend for J. Anthony Brown, but that's the whip. Someone who is I've had some pretty cool opportunities in my career to sit down with the congressman to look back on some of the things that he's done. I think a lot of times we think about him as the congressman, we forget that he was a civil rights leader here and led marches. And so the opportunity, I remember during my time in the mayor's office to lead the Columbia SC 63 initiative, where we highlighted some of the work that he's done here. And so, you think about where he started as a civil rights leader to being someone who has really been the conscience of the country, somebody who's really had both President Obama and President Biden's ear on so many issues, and so just somebody who is, I tell you, he's written his own books and that sort of thing. I can only imagine what the history books will say about Congressman Clyburn, 20 years from now. Oh man, I tell you, it's always interesting to see when you go behind the news, when you go to the news stations and you see some of these folks, who are on the news 24/7. When you get a chance to see them in action, and JR is somebody who is incredibly kind, but always well dressed, always sharp as a tack, And I remember the first time meeting him, and you always see him on camera, but to see him in person, somebody who's just incredibly sharp and like I said, just incredibly kind. The congressman from the 2nd Congressional District here in South Carolina, had a chance to spend some time with him over the years, and I'm thankful for the leadership that he shows here in South Carolina. Judy, the consummate professional. She's a friend. She's someone who I think highly of. She's an example of how to be a professional. Someone who, for those of us who follow her on social media, she is extremely vocal on the issues. She reports the news, the facts. She is someone who cares about our community. You can tell her heart as she goes about her day-to-day life. You know where she is, where her heart is, that she's somebody who cares about the issues that are impacting the community. She isn't just reporting the news. And so she is a community leader here, and she's an example for all of us. I'll be honest, I wasn't familiar with Ms. Sanders until this exercise, and as somebody who graduated from Spring Valley High School, I understand that she's a Ridgeview graduate. I'm glad to see that wonderful things can start out at Ridgeview and come to fruition, but I'm glad to see that she is conquering the world, kicking butt and taking names. I understand that she's an amazingly successful model who is having a wonderful career in Los Angeles. But I will also say I'm so old that I did not realize who she was until this exercise. Hey guys, I just told you everything about the letter J, of course. We left out the best part, Johnson. But please stay tuned as you find out even more about Columbiapedia and all the great letters here in Columbia that you need to know about.